to what is called the state of play. Now, anyone who knows the Startup Junkie, we know we always do a state of play when there's something that you need to know about what's going on in Congress. And of course, again, I told you the Startup Junkie live podcast and live stream show is all about helping the budding entrepreneur do what it is they want to do, and that's successfully bring a product or service to market. And if you're an existing business owner, help you with what it is you need to know to actually scale your business and ultimately increase your bottom line, which is your profits. But I want to acknowledge a couple people. Is just saying, Facebook user, what's up? I feel you, Mr. Facebook user. The other Facebook user, up. All right. And what happened? I'm about to tell you. Now, again, honestly, I don't know why I can't see your face. Maybe you have a private setting on, but typically when people chime in, I can see who they are and where they're logging in from and where they're checking us out on, say, for example, YouTube. But I wanted to say to you tonight, thank you very much. Before I get into the stimulus package and give you a complete update, I want to thank all those people. I believe we had about 50 people join our public startupjunkie.io Facebook group. And you guys joined the Facebook group asking me questions because I literally shared this right here. All right. I shared with you how I make passive income. All right. As you can see here, I have a Facebook Class A stock, means I have voting rights. And of course, I get dividend checks from Starbucks. And here are some other monies that I've made doing internet stuff. And the deposits are quite nice. And you guys were asking me, well, AJ, more info, please. And I simply said to you, hey, just join our Startup Junkie group. Startupjunkie.io. The link is in the body of this post. Just join that group and I'll share with you because I am not selling information. So that is the only information, please, I can give you. I'm not selling information. But I will say this. Let's do the state of play. Let's talk about what is going on in Congress. And what I'm going to do, as always, I just don't ad hoc just make up ish. I always share with you what is in the news by providing you either one, an actual article link, but you guys really like video. So tonight I am going to, again, share with you what's going on as far as the second stimulus package go. I'm going to come back after I play this very, very short video, and then I'm going to let you know what exactly is going on. So check out the
There are new signs of optimism this morning in the talks for a big stimulus deal. The White House says they have agreed to finalize a deal with Democrats by the end of this week, which could set up a vote for early next week. Even Senate GOP leader Mitch McConnell has said he will go along with whatever they decide. Now, that optimism about a possible stimulus deal helping to buttress the markets here in the early going. Taking a look at stock futures, Dow futures up nearly 200 points now. Things a little more muted in the broader market. NASDAQ futures up just 4. We have S&P futures up 16 points. Our DC correspondent Jessica Smith is here with the very latest. Jess, what can you tell us about this possible deal in Congress?
Well, we're not anywhere close to a deal at this point. They have agreed to try and reach a deal by the end of the week. So we'll see if this actually comes through. We know that they had hoped to strike a deal a couple weeks ago, but they are saying that they have agreed at least on a timeline to try and get this done. So that's more than what we've seen in the past. There is still a lot to work out. I wanted to read you this quote from Democratic leader Chuck Schumer. He says, "In my view, the fundamental disagreement is the scope and depth of the problem and its solution. They, Republicans, are still wrapped in this idea that the government shouldn't do much and leave it to the private sector, and it just doesn't work. So that still sounds like a pretty big problem to me. They are set to meet again today, so we'll see if they can make any more progress as they continue negotiations.
Now, I know President Trump was talking about possibly taking executive orders here for things like cutting the payroll tax, evictions. Is that still on the table?
Well, President Trump said yesterday he was still considering it. He told reporters if Congress couldn't get something done, that is something that he might do. He again said this morning that he could do this on the payroll tax cut. And we know that's not very popular on Capitol Hill. Even if there is a deal, it's likely not going to include a payroll tax cut. So we'll see if President Trump would move to try and do that on his own. But you can expect probably a lot of backlash on that decision.
Hey, Jess, before we let you go, any sign that they're coming together on a deal for those expanded unemployment benefits? There was talk that they would expand them, but it wouldn't be the $600 a week. Where do things stand there?
Well, the administration says that they made an offer on those benefits, the enhanced benefits. Politico reports that Mnuchin, Treasury Secretary Mnuchin, offered $400 a week, but we're still waiting to see if there's any kind of agreement on that. We know that Democratic lawmakers are not excited. They are not on board with cutting this at all. So we'll see if they give at all there. But at this point, there's no agreement on that, no.
All right, Jess, thanks so much.
No agreement as of yet. So let me give you the state of play. In other words, let me tell you everything that's going on. I am going to one more time share my screen with you just to show you this caption here. So check it out. You see here? It says, McConnell says he will likely rely on Democrat votes for coronavirus aid package. Do you understand what that means? Okay. State of play is this. Okay. In the nutshell, let me give you in the nutshell, and then now let me break it down. First, in a nutshell, the Senate Republicans are not even negotiating right now with the Democrats. There's HEROES Act on the Senate Republican side, and there's HEROES Act. As you saw in the video, they had a comparison. The HEROES Act is like 1 point whatever trillion, and the HEROES Act, which was passed in the House by May 15th by Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi in the House of Representatives, in other words, the Democrats in the House, they passed this 3.2 trillion back on May 15th. Now, even in the Senate, Mitch McConnell, the leader of the Senate, Republicans, cannot even get his people on board to even pass the HEROES. Now, so what does that mean? Keep that context in mind. So the Democrats have been negotiating directly with the White House. Mark Meadows, which is the chief of staff, and Stephen Mnuchin, which is the economic guy. Okay. The economic advisor, chief economic advisor to President Donald Trump, they have been negotiating. And what they are saying, because Mitch McConnell can't get the votes even within his own faction, okay, with even his own party, he is saying, whatever you guys come up with, and don't trust me, don't believe me, Google it for yourself. Whatever you guys come up with, because hardworking Americans are not necessarily working, and those who are working are still experiencing financial distress. I will agree. The one thing that both HEROES and HEROES, the two proposals, they both agree on an additional $1,200 check. They agree on that. So for all those people out there who want to know, will we get another check? The answer is yes. That is my strong prediction because everyone agrees on that. All right. The point of contention, the red line, the line in the sand is the unemployment extension. Okay? The unemployment boost extension, whether it should be $200 as proposed and saw in the video by the HEALS Act, or whether it should be $600 as proposed as in the HEROES Act with the House of Republicans, the Democrats. Now, Steven Mnuchin of the White House, economic advisor to the president, has negotiated with Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, the leaders in the House of Representatives, the Democrats. They're saying $400. That's not $200, not $600, somewhere right there in the middle. Okay? As I predicted this is probably where it's going to be, somewhere in the middle. Okay? It is so bad that even Trump is saying that if you guys don't get yourselves together, I'm going to have to start writing some executive orders for a few things. And those few things are, one, putting a halt or putting in a moratorium on evictions. Because not only has last week, as of last Friday, not only has the rent and mortgage moratorium basically expired, which means that now millions upon millions of Americans during the midst of a freaking pandemic can be evicted. Not only did that expire, but even, that actually expired 2 weeks ago. Just last Friday, the unemployment boost expired. So, the state of play is this. They are saying that they're most likely to have a deal by Friday to be presented in the Senate by Monday, so they can start trying to pass it. Now, the one thing we do know is that if it does pass, if a deal is worked out by Friday and it does pass, if it does go to the Senate and it passes, then you can best believe it's going to happen like that, because Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, they're negotiating directly with the White House. Okay, there's a couple other things. One last thing I want to show you. Like, people don't even realize just how important something as an extra $600 a week in unemployment actually truly affects the economy. Here's the state of play about the $600. A report came out that simply said, and Google it for yourself, that the $600 boost actually brought up spending to pre-pandemic levels. So what does that mean? That means prior to the pandemic, the spending within this country, because as you know, the GDP, gross domestic product, has plummeted. Okay, we have lost big time, right? So if the $600 boost is added back, then most likely we'll start seeing some stabilization in the economy. Now, you might be saying, AJ, well, there's so many stocks, in the stock market, so many companies that are doing fantastic. I can tell you this, they're primarily technology companies that are benefiting from the pandemic, such as Amazon, all right? Such as, Google, such as Netflix. All of these, what they call FANG stocks, these technology stocks that are on the NASDAQ are benefiting, right? Apple is about to reach a $2 trillion valuation. You just don't understand how significant that is. And once they reach that 2 trillion evaluation, market capitalization, once they reach that, they are going to offer what is called a 4-to-1 split. In other words, for every share you have, it becomes 4. Okay? So I've been through splits, and I've benefited quite well from companies, stock prices going up to $300-$400 a share, and then splitting, and then for every share that I had, end up being 3 shares. So I had a fantastic time, and I made a lot of money doing that. Okay, because of the split, because of the success of the company. All right, so why does the split happen? This is a side note. A split happens to make the stock more accessible to the public. In other words, to bring the price down so more people can actually buy. All right, so now back to the state of play. Let me share this with you. All right, so this is how unemployment benefits will drop if the $600 expire. Well, we know it's already expired. Unemployed Americans will see a 52 to 72% decline in benefits if the extra $600 isn't extended. Those benefits are often the sole source of income for unemployed Americans. And as you could tell, the percentage of drop, in other words, being able to have spending power, so to speak, if you can tell, a lot of the greatest numbers based on the colors are in southern states, right? Because those people in southern states where unemployment, such as in Mississippi, may be less than $175 a week. Can you literally live off $175 times 4? All right, whatever that is. What's that? $350, $700 a month. The answer is absolutely not. And yet we're still waiting on a $1,200 check. So the state of play is this. My prediction is that they will have a deal worked out. Mitch McConnell is like, hey, whatever you guys say, if the White House agrees and it puts money into hardworking Americans' pockets, and those who are not not employed or furloughed, had their hours cut. Right now, if you guys work out something, I will bring it to the floor in the Senate. I will try to get it passed. The state of play is this, my friend, and all the people that are checking in from all the platforms right now. The state of play is simply this. Reach out to your congressperson and ask your congressperson to get to work. Because technically, based on the timeline, the Democrats should be in recess right now, but they're still working. All right? Recess meaning they should be on vacation. And I believe next week, Senate Republicans are supposed to be on vacation, or at least starting vacation or recess. But we are faced with a tumultuous time. Something like we've never seen before in our lifetimes. We have a 100-year pandemic. We have a 19-week running total of 54 million people who file for jobless claims. But yet, not 54 million people are unemployed. It's like 30 plus million. Don't believe me? Check it for yourself. All right? But the point is this. For the last 2 weeks, jobless claims were at 1.4 million for 2 weeks in a row. The Senate, the House, and the White House, the administration, will hopefully pass something. God bless you. That's all I can say. Now, I appreciate everyone checking out the Startup Junkie tonight. As a reminder, be sure to check out the Startup Junkie live podcast on Apple, iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn, as well as iHeart Media. Definitely check us out, and be sure to check out and join our Facebook group, the startupjunkie.io. All right? Only for those people who want something different. Yes, even though it's a public group and anyone can join and anyone can post, we're only looking for business stuff inside of there. So, don't join if you feel like your entrepreneurship is twerking. Okay? I know I shouldn't have said that, but hey, I got to say it because I actually had to block someone for doing that today. All right, I'm just saying, please join our group and let us share as a community Let us share our ideas. Let us share our resources. The Startup Junkie Live Facebook group. Actually, it's the startupjunkie.io. Join that group. Go and search it. Look inside this post right now. Click on that link. Plus, I would love for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Startup Junkie Live podcast channel, right there on YouTube. The link is in the body of this post. Please do so. This has been the Startup Junkie Live State of Play, where we're 100% dedicated to entrepreneurs, dedicated to the startup, and if you have an existing business, helping you grow and scale your business and increase your profit, which is your bottom line. So, thanks everyone for checking us out tonight. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you tomorrow on the other side. Take care.